The USDA released a new food pyramid Wednesday, though some are calling it the RFK Jr. pyramid. Health experts say the guidance lines up with what's already recommended. The federal guidelines have been presented as a food plate since 2011. This new model shifts to an inverted food pyramid, prioritizing protein, healthy fats, dairy, fruits, and vegetables while minimizing whole grains. A dietitian with OSF Healthcare says the main concern is whether people can realistically meet the recommendations based on individual diets and health needs.
Challenges that I see with these things will be how to actually meet all of these guidelines and incorporate them into your diet. So for example, having full fat dairy can make it very challenging to continue to keep your saturated fat to less than 10% of your total calories.
For viewers who are vegan or vegetarian, Bonnie Williams suggests getting your protein from plant-based sources.